Hey guys, what's going on? This is Darth Arma again, bringing you episode 6 of Push Block Paper Scissors. This is going to be just some general quick tips, special move canceling, backdashing, and challenging. What are these things? How do we do them? And when should we do them? First, the easy one, special move canceling. I have my camera set up here on my stick. This is how I normally play. If you want to see if a move has the ability to be special canceled into a special move, just go to the move list. Good example here, if you're playing Batman Intimidation, on the bottom right you can see cancel 21. That means you can cancel from stand, square, triangle, into any special move you want. However, if you look at this one, scroll down just one spot, Mind Games. Square, triangle, X. As soon as you press X, you are not able to cancel into any special move whatsoever. So, square, triangle, special move, okay, that works, no problem. Square, triangle, X, special move, that does not work. There's no cancel window going into a special move. Canceling a special move from any of these applicable combo attacks or basic attacks, you can actually also cancel into your character power from the same ones. So if it says cancel there, like it does right there, 23, you can cancel in a special move or cancel into your character power. All right, so the two that we have tagged here is back triangle X, which is stay down. Again, this combo only works in the corner. And then we're going to be canceling it into straight grapple. Now, if you guys can kind of look at my hands here, trying to have something set up for you, just so you can, see the timing of it. Now, in Injustice 2, you can buffer things in very, very quickly. As you can see, there's minimal delay on this capture card, so my hands are moving almost in real time. Very minimal lag. All right, anyway, let's go into this. You can see how fast, hands off of it, but the grapple still came out. You can do everything in this game very, 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 very early. Still comes out. No problem. If you're not getting the special move that you want, you might be inputting it not quickly enough. That's usually the main mistake. The other thing you got to watch out for is when you press back triangle X, that's all you need to press. Do not press back triangle X, because sometimes it won't come out. Back triangle X. And that's what a lot of people end up doing, especially when they're very nervous and they're in game. They'll press the button more than they need to. Just calm down. Back triangle X. 1, 2. That's it. That's all you got to do. So once you do that, and Batman's in the middle of an animation, then you input straight grapple. No problem. Okay, I'm going to jump over to the pad so you guys can see on this one what it's like in here. Let's see. Pad. We got the pad, boys. All right. Again, same thing. You saw every single one of my digits move. Very calm. No, pressing too many times. That's what a lot of people do. So that's a big no-no. Don't do that. Very calm. That's it. They're going to hold back 2, 3. And then with the D-pad, you down, forward, grapple. If there's a part of the combo you're not getting, practice that specific part. And just try to piece everything together. And, something like this. That's it. All right. Hey, guys, what's going on? This is now Backdashing. We're still in the training room in Injustice 2. Backdashing gives you an animation where you put a little space between yourself and your opponent. That animation is also accompanied with invincibility frames. Now, what invincibility frames are is a small window where your character cannot be hurt. It's very, very small, but it's a good way to just kind of get a little bit of space between yourself and your opponent. It's like a great defensive tool in Injustice. And whether you're standing in the neutral, on the floor, as long as you start backdashing, you will always get those invincibility frames. So let's go into a situation where we might want to backdash. We're going to be playing it from the perspective of Batman. Let's say, Big Bad Bane is right here to get us. I actually do not want that. There you go. That's the one I want. So, you know, kind of sucks. After getting swept, you know, he either tick throws into here or he hits you for a pretty nice combo if you're not sitting there blocking. So what do? You can do something like delay wake up and mess with his timing just a little bit. But you can also do something like that, backdashing. See, normally, right after the sweep, his hands make contact with you. But because we're backdashing, we're taking advantage of the invincibility frames of said backdash, and we're not getting hit. Not only are we not getting hit, but we're building a little bit of space between ourselves and our opponent. So, you know, always a good option. Always backdashing just to kind of get out of any bad situation we don't want our opponent to bully us in. So backdash, backdash, backdash. It's always an option, especially if your character has one of the better ones. Another great example of when to use a backdash is in the gaps in your opponent's strings. So let's look at Bane's 1-1-3. You can backdash before the last part. The last part puts him at very plus. Very plus leading into a frame trap, which he could utilize with his stand 1, which is 7 frames. Another great time to backdash is when your opponent is trying to take advantage of said plus frames. So always a good idea to backdash when you feel like you're being put in a frame trap or when you know that there's a gap in your opponent's string. Again, if your opponent's whiffing this out and they know you're going to backdash, they can do something like do the frame trap and then dash forward after you and punish your recovery on your backdash because you actually have a while before you can block again after you backdash. And that's universal. That's with everybody's backdash. So something I noticed with a lot of new players is I don't really know when and how to challenge. Challenging an opponent is usually a great idea, not to always do it, because I'm going to show you how you can blow up people for trying to challenge you. But it's a good idea to kind of get your opponent to keep guessing, to keep trying to figure out how and when you're going to do it, and to kind of throw off their anticipation and their read on you. I play both these characters that you see on the screen here, Batman and Joker. Batman, usually his go-to string is his 1-2-3, his square triangle X, because it leads into a combo, or you can just stop at square triangle and be at +3, or cancel into trait and be at +6 or 7. Again, this is a great thing to really challenge and to kind of not let Batman get away with this. Whenever he's jumping in on you, you can give him a down 1 or a down 2. The first thing you really want to do is when you're looking at your character is you want to see what's what's your faster poke. Joker does have one of the slower ones. He's got a slower standing normal, but his crouching normal, his down square is actually 6 frames, so pretty on par with everyone else. His down 2 is 12 frames, a little bit slower, but can still work in situations where you want to challenge your opponent. Because that Batman standing 1 is actually a high. So if you can get the jump in 2, if he's really close to hitting right above your head, you should have enough room to really anticipate it. However, if he does change the arc of it, and the arc hits you a little bit lower to the ground, I'm going to show you. I'm going to back up a little bit, and I'm going to see that you actually don't have a gap to challenge at all. Oops, too much. So there, I had a gap. So if I'm, oops, still have a gap. There, I didn't have a gap. So it all depends on how soon or how deep Batman or anybody's jumping 2 really hits you. Jumping 1s normally don't have too much blocks done, but jumping 2s have a little bit more blocks done, especially if they hit it really, really low to the ground. I'm going to switch it up and kind of show you. So there, I really had no gap at all. I was pressing buttons, but the game just registered me to continue to block. I'm going to hit buttons really hard the whole time, no gap at all. So that's not necessarily a great way to try to open up an opponent for trying to press buttons. If you're Batman, you could go with something like, oops, stand 2-2-3. Because the first hit is actually a mid, it'll stop opponents from ducking under what they're normally expecting is the high. And if they're challenging here right after the jump in, you'll actually convert into a full combo. However, if the opponent does just take their time and wait for the entire string to finish out, any hit in that string actually leaves Batman at negative frame advantage. So it's all about knowing the frame data, knowing about when you can swing before your opponent can, and when you need to respect and just kind of block it. Again, sometimes you want to do something a little unconventional just to throw your opponent off so they don't get a good and perfect blueprint layout of how well to read you. Now we're going to switch over to the Joker. This one's, just as simple. Jump in 1. You can challenge with a down 2. Challenge with a down 2. But if people let this string rock, Joker's actually at +3 after his stand 2-1 string, which is the string that you see right there. So jump in, and Joker's actually plus after that. You can interrupt it. However, if Joker knows that you're going to try to interrupt it after his jump in, he'll do something like this. Think I got the timing right? Nope. You always want to leave a little gap. You want to leave a little gap for your opponent to try to press something. Oops. So there he can kind of, give you some kind of reason to fear challenging. But challenging is always a good option. You need to know that, you can't always just throw out rock, rock, rock. Your opponent's always going to know you're going to throw out rocks, so he's going to go with paper. You want to mix it up. You want to mix up your options. I hope you guys learned a lot in this video about challenging. Again, when someone puts you in a frame trap, you don't always have to not bite, because sometimes they will catch on to the fact that you respect frame traps way too much, and they'll just abuse you by putting you in slower frame traps right after that, or abuse you by throwing you after a frame trap because they know that you're not going to do anything. Guys, this is episode 6. Just a few quick tips, things that I've seen new players struggle with. If you guys want to find out more or have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below, or you guys can follow me on Twitter at DarthArma. Thank you so much.